Hey friends, my name is Ashlyn and I'm 22 years old living in this fifth wheel camper. We've almost lived in here for 2 full years, which I think is incredible. We also got this car back in August when we were in Washington and we spent $1,800 on it, and all it's needed since then is new tires and an alignment. I can also admire the fact that this camper has made it so I have been able to make my home my own wherever I want, whenever I want. Oh my gosh, isn't that freedom just so incredible about RV life? I know it's not the most fanciest thing you could be living in, but it sure is practical, especially for being as young as I am. Also, sometimes when I'm cleaning or getting groceries inside and put away, I like to put all the little floobs outside because there are 4 of them kitties and they get in the way sometimes, but I love them so much because they make my RV a home. I was also going to try and lay all the groceries out into the meals that I was going to make, but then I realized a lot of the meals that I make use the same simple ingredients, just in different variations. Like, I like to use a lot of meats, potatoes, and vegetables, and lately I've been using cream cheese in place of like cream of mushroom soup and stuff like that to try to avoid the sodium and the processed ingredients. But I find out my cream cheese isn't even that great for you, but I'm like, okay, at least I'm making a step forward. I also love Winco so much and I love their brand, but I'm finding out that they put like chemicals in their heavy whipping cream and in their cream cheese, and I'm like, but it's either Winco brand or $8 block of cream cheese. I'm gonna show y'all how to get down with one of my favorite creamy potato soup recipes. I just added potatoes, onions, garlic, whatever vegetables I had on hand. I used these for white chicken chili, so I just decided to use the rest of them for this recipe because shop what you have first before going out and buying more. I use a full block of cream cheese, some heavy whipping cream, about 1/4 cup, and about 2 cups of chicken broth, but I just be measuring with my heart, okay? And then I do salt and pepper, and I put that lid on, put it on the crock pot on either low or high, depending on how much time you have, and let it sit. And in the meantime, I'm gonna prep all the other stuff that I have, like my creamer, which I just use sweetened condensed milk with some chocolate sauce, and then fill that baby up with milk, because I don't like the palm oil creamer that they sell at the store, like the Coffee Mate. I know it's dairy free, but that's palm oil. That is an inflammatory. I do not think that sits well with my belly. But honestly, I'm one to talk with all this sugar I be putting in my coffee. Hey friends, I'm on the way to my Tuesday class. I got these peanut butter crackers because carbs before an intense 45 to an hour long workout will really help to give you quick energy. I planned out my class yesterday because I went to HotWorks and I really practiced it. And I had a killer flow, so of course I had to write it down. Also, for it only being the second week that this class is on the schedule, there are already 6 people signed up, and Zane is coming this week. I actually filmed this a week before I'm filming the voiceover today, and I had my Tuesday time slot class yesterday, and there were 14 people in the room, friend. There were 14 people. I am in my redemption era from the bully gym era, because I had people laughing in the room. I had people bringing their mom, their friends. Like, people are actually like reciprocating my energy, and it feels so good. I even had a couple ladies in the back saying it was like a dance party, and this is my redemption era from the bully gym era, because at the bully gym I had people negatively comparing me to a DJ on a cruise ship during my classes. And guess what? Some people like to be yelled at. Some people like to be encouraged. Some people like to have fun. And I found those people, so I just had to share that. Anyway, since we put our crock pot on earlier, now it is time to come home and make my homemade biscuit dough, which is actually super simple. Just look up a really simple biscuit dough recipe online, and it's seriously so easy to make. It's one of the easier breads to start with. And I put my chicken in a pan without washing it. Do you wash your chicken or do you not wash your chicken? Because, honey, I know some people get so triggered when you say you don't wash your chicken, and I just don't understand why, because the heat kills all of the bacteria. And I was just never taught to wash it, and anytime that I did try to wash it, I just felt like the chicken got really soggy, and I just wasn't vibing with it. So are you team wash chicken or team not wash chicken without getting triggered? Now I just dusted my plate with some flour. I flattened down my biscuit dough to make it like a round circle. And I put a good amount of chicken in there, some cheese bits because I didn't want to grate the cheese I just cut it up into blocks. And honestly, not grating it helps with the cheese pull effect. But anyway, then I roll it up like a burrito kinda, and I pinch the sides together. And then you cook it to whatever your biscuit dough recipe calls for. Just make sure you cook it long enough for it to be brown and crispy on the top and not raw dough. Because guess what, friends? Since there wasn't any protein in the creamy potato soup, I decided to make cheesy chicken roll-up dippers. Isn't that so freaking slay? Like, cheesy chicken roll-up soup dippers. Like, you can't even honestly get any better than that. It's a new day while I wear a beige shirt and a grout fit to bake banana bread. Yeah. Today I have just been chilling. I did a $16 Instacart order this morning. It wasn't much, but it only took me half an hour. No other good ones worth my time have popped up. They've just been like poopy single digit orders, and I'm just not interested in literally leaving my house to go do. So I plucked my eyebrows, I had the boys help me clean the entire RV, and now I'm ready to just bake some bread, because if I don't make a sweet treat, then I will self-sabotage. So I also have these bananas going bad, so I figured it's time to use them. So for this recipe, like I said, for my recipes, I usually just look online and find like the easiest one with like the least amount of ingredients, and I go from there. This recipe calls for a 1/3 cup of butter, and I just put it in the bowl and I microwave it so it can get soft. Once my butter looks all nice and melty, then that's when I take my that's when I take my bananas and mash them. I guess we're doing 2 bananas today. But you don't want too many bananas anyways, because the more liquidy it is, the harder it is to bake all the way through without burning it. One thing I love about banana bread too, especially as you're starting out as a beginner baker, is that you really only need a fork to get it done. And now they look nice and creamy with that butter. With baking, you want to mix together all of the wet ingredients before you add the dry ingredients, or vice versa. I like banana bread though, because you can usually just throw it all in a bowl and it'll usually always turn out. I've had a couple though where I've baked banana bread and it's been super disappointing. After you have your 2 to 3 bananas, your 1/3 cup of butter, then you're gonna crack an egg in that baby. And this recipe calls for a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Also, now would be the time to add your cinnamon if you wanted cinnamon banana bread, which I've got a lot of cinnamon, so I'm probably gonna just throw some in. Now she looks real nice. Now I am going to use a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, not baking powder. Fun fact, the baking soda activates with the egg to help the bread rise. Mix that in real nice. It says 1 pinch of salt. I'll probably do about a 1/2 of this, 1/4 a teaspoon. I feel like that would be good. I don't want to make it too salty now. Now this recipe says that you can add 3/4 a cup of sugar, but I noticed that when I added 3/4 a cup, it did not get sweet enough for my liking. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a whole cup. I know it seems like a lot, but honey, this is a sweet treat. And at least it doesn't have all of those preservatives in it, right? Each time you add a dry ingredient, mix it up really, really well. It is time for the flour already. I just love banana bread and how easy it is. This recipe calls for 1.5 cups of flour. Hopefully I have enough. I think I'll have just enough. Now look at that pretty banana bread. Now I preheat my oven to 350 degrees. Making this took me less than 10 minutes. Now I'm gonna grease and dump it in a pan. We clean up as we go around here. It It needs about an hour in the oven. So just keep that in mind. I know it seems like a long time, and if you feel like the top of the loaf is burning, you can cover it with tin foil. It's looking like my bread needs some tin foil on it because it's already getting pretty dark and it still has like 30 minutes left on the clock. I can tell that the middle still needs to cook more. I did just accept an order for about $14, but it's only 1.5 miles and like 10 items. So I figured I haven't made much money today, so I might as well go out. Also, Sunday was my top earning day because I made $200 last Sunday. So I haven't been stressing on the slow days because I know with slow days, there will be good days and there will be bad days. I just get more rest on the quote unquote bad days. It may or may not stay a $14 order because when customers tip percentage based and an item is out of stock at the store, the tip goes down because I wasn't able to find a replacement that was equating the same value. So I guess we'll see how much the tip goes down for a $30 pack of eggs being out of stock. The tip only did go down $1 and it only took me half an hour, so not too bad. Also, here's how the bread turned out. It almost burned, but didn't. So at least I know that it'll be cooked in the middle. I sent the boys to go get us some Del Taco because, I don't know, I just don't want to cook tonight. And Del Taco is cheap enough and really good. And I was thinking about, meatballs or big burrito. And my mind just went to big burrito, so. Also, I know that my posting has been a little inconsistent lately, and that's because my boyfriend's brother literally moved in with us for 2 weeks, and he was just chilling on our futon. And just having another dude, like, in my space, chilling on the futon, I just didn't feel like I had the most creative control or inspiration to do my videos authentically on time. Like, your girl has been busy, honestly. So that's what's happening. Now he officially moved out yesterday and he moved into his own camper because I guess he liked our futon so much and he liked the camper vibes. So he went and bought his own camper and now he's chilling in his own camper. So yeah, that's the tea. Thank you, friend, for sticking to the end, and I'll see you next week.